Understanding Virgo Men. Who hasn't ever sat in front of a Virgo man, doing everything possible to understand him? This sign has, as one of its main characteristics, its extremely mental way of being. This is no coincidence. Its ruler is the planet Mercury, which governs matters related to intellect, communication, and the way we reason. That is why the natives of this sign are easily recognized, first by being very intelligent people. But this is not the only trait that defines them. Virgos are organized, tidy, perfectionists, and somewhat obsessive. If you don't believe in these things, take a moment to observe that typical Virgo man in the group of friends. If the plan is, for example, to spend a weekend in the countryside among friends, the Virgo man is the one who has thousands of lists with all the items that must be taken, and who, in the WhatsApp group, tells each one what their function is. In addition, he probably has a schedule with the plan for each day. To flow and relax? Not his style. Let's discover what other curious facts, dark sides, and traits make this sign unique. Traits of Virgo men. This sign, like many others, has certain characteristics that simply make them who they are. Characteristics that range between the positive, the negative, and the perfect. Let's discover them together. Perfectionist. This is a characteristic that almost all Virgo men possess, and I would not know whether to place it in the row of positive or negative things. The truth is that with Virgo, there is nothing half done. Everything Virgo does is meant to be perfect. Even the smallest detail will be considered. Obsessive. Within this trait that makes them perfectionists lies another of their qualities, or flaws, which has to do with their most obsessive side. For Virgo, not only does everything have to be perfect, but everyone else has to think the same way and do the same as they do, because otherwise, it will give them OCD. Organized. Among their most positive characteristics is the ability they have to organize themselves. As we have already mentioned, they are very mental beings, and this they can use in their favor to order their thoughts, their tasks, and their commitments, which is very useful to them. Too serious. A not-so-positive trait of this sign is that sometimes they do not have that gift for humor or grace. They are too skeptical at times and do not allow themselves to act silly or simply have fun. This makes some people feel uncomfortable in their presence. Likes and dislikes of Virgo men. Another important thing to keep in mind to be able to understand the men of this sign are those things they are passionate about and those things they simply prefer to quickly run away from. Virgo men love lists of all kinds, the more the better. Having everything coldly calculated. When things go exactly as in their plans. Order and cleanliness. Hygiene. Having good health. Taking care of their habits. A stable routine. Virgo men hate disorganized things, dirty houses, and even dark ones. People who are too impulsive and do not think through their words or actions. Situations where they are forced to improvise. People who are always wanting to attract attention. Strengths of Virgo men. They are highly trustworthy. Being such organized people makes them inspire a lot of trust, and anyone knows they can count on them for matters that require a certain commitment. They are very sincere. If you ask a Virgo man what he thinks about a certain subject, he will not give you a condescending opinion just to leave you happy. He will give you a complete and 100% honest analysis of what he thinks, and sometimes it may even hurt. Their sensibleness. Another of the great strengths this sign possesses is its remarkable sensibleness. They are not the type to do things wildly or too improvisationally. We already know this. This can sometimes be very useful so that things turn out well in the long term. Weaknesses of Virgo men. They lack the gift of improvisation. Although their great organization is highly valued, there are times in life when spontaneity can be a great skill. By being too serious, they close themselves off to new ideas. Innovation is not Virgo's strong suit. In fact, it is one of the things they struggle with the most. Sometimes, by sticking to what should be, they miss out on ideas that could be very good, but are too avant-garde for them. Their dark side and secrets. Like all signs, Virgo has its brightest side and its hidden face, the one that almost no one sees, but that whoever chooses to know them more deeply and stay by their side knows better than anyone. Let's discover their best-kept secrets. One of the darkest sides that this sign hides is its general boredom with life. As we have mentioned before, sometimes it is difficult for them to open themselves to new ideas. This is also reflected in their daily life, in which it is hard for them to accept invitations or even do things they like, either out of fear, shame, or because stepping out of their comfort zone can be too challenging at times. Another of the things that this sign keeps most secretly is the fact of sometimes feeling too limited by their routine. Virgo fits the chores of their life as if they were boxes, one box inside another and so on. What they don't realize is that this sometimes limits their actions, leaving little room for fun and rest. Finally, Virgo is a sign very related to matters of health. And here lies one of the traits they find hardest to show. They are somewhat hypochondriac. This means they become slightly obsessed with their health and sometimes imagine they have things they do not. This generates fears and doubts that are sometimes avoidable if they were aware there is nothing to worry about and they did not overthink things so much. How they handle different areas of life. Family. In the family, he is the one who is always available to organize everything, whether it is family gatherings, vacations, or things that others don't have time to plan. He is also the one who always remembers the medical appointments. Work. At work, he is highly valued for his organizational and rational skills. His boss knows he can count on him for advanced tasks that require a lot of concentration, and he has a good relationship with his colleagues thanks to his slight charisma. Personal goals. He is one of the signs that best stands out in this area for being the king of the to-do list. He organizes everything in lists and is very committed to his own processes, which makes him be in constant progress, even if it is somewhat slow. Romantic relationships of Virgo men. In his relationships, he seeks to give the best of himself, and his way of showing affection is mainly through intellectual love languages. Virgo in love is that typical man who may not be the most tender or the warmest physically, but you can be sure that he will always be there when you need something concrete. For example, he is always present to fix something or help you think about something when you feel you have already seen it from every point of view. Also, being a sign not characterized by its connection with emotions, relationships awaken in Virgo very good things such as empathy, his gift of service, and the ability to express what he feels without limiting himself so much. Bonus, spicy fact to know him fully. If you are already immersed in the Virgo universe but want to know what would be a fact to confirm that you really know him, get into his agenda. Ask him about the things he did this week and the ones he still has to do. With each item he mentions, you will be listening to a little piece of his identity. Thank you for watching the video, and let us know your thoughts in comments box below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to get all the updates.